Where is your capital actually accessible? If your capital is inside Europe, there is a high probability that you don't fully control it. You may own assets, but ownership is not the same as access. Most investors I speak with in places like Antwerp, Brussels, Amsterdam believe they are diversified. They have real estate in one country, stocks in another, and maybe some digital assets. But when we map their structure, over 80% of their capital is still dependent on the same regulatory framework. And that creates something very dangerous. Not a visible risk, but a structural bottleneck, a situation where transfers get delayed. Access becomes conditional. Decisions are no longer fully yours. Last week, I reviewed a portfolio for a private investor from Antwerp. He had assets in 3 different EU countries, on paper diversified, but structurally, more than 90% of his capital was still inside one system. One decision, one policy shift could impact everything. This is where most people make a critical mistake. They focus on the asset instead of the structure behind the asset. I use a very simple framework called PAC. Yes, PAC. Position, access, control, and knowledge. You don't need to remember the name, but you must understand this. If you don't control access, you don't control your capital. And this is becoming more relevant in 2026 with increasing reporting requirements, more transaction monitoring, expanded visibility on cross-border flows. This is not theory. This is already influencing decisions today. Smart investors are not waiting. They are quietly restructuring. Let me be clear. This is not about moving money randomly, and it's definitely not about chasing returns. It's about something much more important: maintaining operational access to your capital. Because wealth without mobility is a liability. So the real question is not where should I invest? It's this: where is my capital actually accessible? And under what conditions? I don't offer products in public, and I don't give generic advice. But I do run a private session for a limited number of people, where we map this clearly. A short structural review based on your current setup. No selling, no pressure. Only clarity. If you are managing capital across borders, this is something you cannot ignore. The link is below. Apply if it's relevant. Otherwise, you'll eventually have to deal with it anyway.